Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Champions of the Content video. In today's video, I wanted to go over Awakening Stones and what are my thoughts on using Awakening Stones now on characters. So right now, Awakening Stones are used to increase character stats and allowing them to have a fourth skill that they can use in battles. And some characters also have their Awakening accessories released, and not all of them do. And in the future, this is kind of where it gets confusing with a lot of talk in the community on whether to use them now or not. But what they do is they enhance character specials, which are not released currently in the game, but they will be released in the future. And what they are, they're like super abilities that come in various different forms, such as strong attacks or buffs or debuffs. So stay tuned for more on that in the future, or you can check out the spreadsheet in the description for more info on each character's specials that will be coming out in the future. So alright, so first I'm going to go over Theo, which as you can see, he is Awakening level 3. And so when you go into Awakening a character, you can see from this board right here what each of them does. So when you awaken a character at the first stage, all of their attributes at the base get raised by 30% up to 50 points. It is my recommendation and my strong feeling and opinion that every character should be at least awakened to stage 1. Those boosts are huge, they're super important, and they're only going to help you in the long run. Other people are going to have different thoughts on this, but this is just my opinion and what I'm doing with all of my characters when I get, when I pull dupes and I get their Awakening Stones. Alright, so Awakening stage number 2 gives you that 4th battle skill slot, which I also think is super important to have. So you have more abilities that you can use at your disposal with fights. For the main story right now, the main story isn't the most challenging content, so maybe it's not important right now, but arena's coming up, more content is being released in the future, so this is going to come in handy. And the stage 3 is that base attribute HP gets raised plus 50% up to 1000. I also think that this is really important. I'm sure you can see a trend here, but with my characters, with my favorite characters, I'm going to awaken them all the way. And as you can see with Theo, I have 6 other Awakening Stones. I don't know what it is with my luck, but I have been pulling so many Theos. At this point, it's overkill, but I digress. So let's go to stage 4, which is their Awakening accessory. Theo's is currently not released, but this is what the 4th stage is. So with being awakened at stage 3, you can see his stats. 602 is pretty good. Now I want to show you what my Primrose, who is only not awakened at all, and you can just see how dramatically the stats are lowered. And also to note too, she is 14 levels lower, so that is a big of a bump. But you can just see, her attack 360, Theo's is 612, her defense 339. Theo's is 518, and also too, these are 2 different jobs, but I think you can kind of get what I'm talking about with why that stage 1 is at a minimum, I believe, should be used. Those stats increase are really important. So with Mylard, I have him at Awaken stage 2, and he actually has his accessory released. So at his stage 4, you can see the ritual equipment, and when you look at the details, really good elemental physical defense and element defense buffs. He raises staff damage dealt by 15%, limit from support skills and equipment effects are 30%. It raises dark resist and limit from equipment effects 30%. So every character has a different awakening accessory, and they offer different things, and they're kind of tailored to that character. So Tressa, she uses pole arms and she uses wind, so that gets a buff, and her physical attack, elemental attack, and HP all get buffed. And let's see if Primrose has hers. She does, the dancer shoes. So raise fan and dark damage by 15%, which is her attacks. And it also raises her elemental attack speed and her SP by 40. So awakening them to level 4 is important, but when you get to that territory, it's just a little risky, because if you want to, use a stone to max out their special, then, you kind of want to weigh your options, especially with these limited characters like Tressa and Primrose. It's going to be harder to pull, 5 of them, unless you're, wailing super hard when they're released, but there's plenty of time to get them in the future. And so I'm sure you can kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. So, awaken level 3, 2, 1, and not at all. HP with Primrose 1906, and Theo is 3780, you know, because he gets that extra 1000 from awakening. So ultimately, you know, make the decision, you know, as you see fit. I plan on, you know, really using awakening stones for everybody, at least level 1, and then there are characters in the future, you know, like Lynette, for instance, who I do want to have one extra, you know, kind of standing by for her special. And there's going to be other characters more so in the future that I'm, you know, gonna make sure that I save an awakening stone for. But as of right now, I'm really not too worried about any of the characters. I just want them built so I have a roster for now that can take on challenges like arena and then more story content in the future. And then I have other characters in the future that I'm really looking forward to, who I'm going to wait for their specials. And you know, some are better than others, and I definitely recommend checking out the spreadsheet in the description so you can get an idea of who has what awakenings, which ones, you know, you should definitely be saving a stone for, and who you can just go ahead and start awakening now, you know, all the way up to stage 4 if you'd like. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts about this are. Have you been using yours? Are you kind of keeping them tucked away for specials in the future? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.